Hey there, how you doing? Alright, well, I think this might be it. This might be the day. Hopefully. We've worked very long and hard on this, and I'm hoping that today is the day where we finish the foam. So last time, let's see what we do last time. We did the ears, we did some tweaks on the eyebrows and the cheeks, and between the eyes. And I said today we would do the muzzle, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, we should do some work on the inside of the mouth and the jaw, and just the inside of the head in general. But first things first is the muzzle. Yeah. So after I finished streaming the last time, I mirrored everything the best I could. So that's why it looks much better. Because I remember I finished like this eyebrow, that ear, this cheek. So I did the best I could to mirror it, but I didn't want to get like too far ahead without you guys. But I did accidentally ended up getting a little further ahead than I intended to with the muzzle here. So you might notice it looks a lot better than last time we saw. And that's because I accidentally got ahead of myself and I started doing the whole front here. So I'll explain what I did that you guys missed. Hey Renn, how you doing? Renn! Hey, well I got you here. Do you want to look at this and see if you like how it looks so far? Because if you want any changes, now would be a good time. There we go. Okay. We do need to work here a little bit, so just kind of ignore this little awkward, yeah. Muzzle might be a little bit long. I think it looks better on this side. I think I have to do more mirroring. Yeah, this side definitely looks better. Yeah, once we get off stream today, I'll do a little bit more mirroring. It looks like it could use a little bit more work. I'm just such a perfectionist. I'm sure if I furred it that way, it would look totally, completely fine. Yeah, I think the muzzle's a tad long. Just a little bit. And once you add the neck in there, you gotta imagine the big neck. The rest of it looks fine. Personally, that's what I think. If you have any tweaks, let me know, because now's the time. Okay, guys, well, we're going to work on the muzzle. We're also going to work on this connection down here with the jaw, because especially this side needs help, but this one's closer. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this one look perfect, and then when I get off stream, I'll mirror it to the other side. I don't think so. I think that's the lighting. She doesn't look angry at all. The lighting is kind of jank. I did the best I could, but it's still really bright in here. It's like, there's lights everywhere, but I still can't get the right lighting. My main problem is actually, I usually end up putting the eyebrows too high, and it looks like they're always like, ah. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. I think that's just the lighting. I'm sorry about that. If you'd prefer, I can try to take some photos. Like some nice photos that you might be able to understand the shapes better. Yeah. That's a hard thing to see. But yeah, I don't want that. If you want me to tweak the eyebrows, I will. Okay, so last time with the the muzzle, we had kind of like a little pig snout going on, and that's okay, because obviously you can fix it, it's foam. So what I did was, I got just like a big piece, like a pretty hefty piece, just a thin half-inch thing of foam, and I just laid it on the top. Just covered this whole front of the muzzle the best I could, and just glued it down. And then, of course, it was very bulbous after that. So once it dried, I was able to very carefully just kind of sculpt out that shape. And that's why it looks a lot smoother now, because I had that layer on top. And the front of the muzzle looks a bit better now. Although, I'm still not a fan of the way this kind of comes up a little too high here, maybe. I can grab out Figby if you guys want to see the my Figby example. Yeah. Oh, he has a fan in his mouth. Oh, and Mr. Woofs is on top. Okay, so Figby, my first fursuit head. Not the best example, but you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking for just a little bit. His nose is much too big for probably what Renn wants, because I really like the giant noses, but I'm not going to do that unless she wants one. So here's the bottom of the muzzle here. You can see it's pretty smooth. It's got a really rounded, happy cheek, and then that folds over into this curve here. And there is a bit of a dip right here that you can grab that goes around, and that's about it. And the bottom of the muzzle, this jaw here, kind of just goes up to meet this area. So that's why I like to do the muzzle first, and then I do the jaw after to kind of fill in that area. So you can see on this side where it still needs some help. The muzzle is almost done. It needs to be a little bit more rounded, but this bottom jaw piece needs to come up higher to meet this piece right here. It needs to be a nice smooth transition. You reminded me of that. You know, I totally forgot about that. We are totally doing extra. Alright, you're right. So, thank you for reminding me about that. I completely forgot. I would have, that would have been embarrassing. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up beforehand. So, yeah, for Renn, the plan was to do some extra eyelids for different emotions, which, to do that, let me explain. Here's my eye. I'm gonna trace the eye onto the paper, and then I'm gonna be able to draw a different shape here. Just give me just a second. I need to use a pen, a pencil, because if I mess up and I draw pen on these eyes, that would be kind of sad. Okay. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. This is the first time I'll be doing that. See, the trouble is, coming from an animation background, it's hard for me because I'm a perfectionist, and I know how to do different expressions. It takes a lot of different muscles to move, and different different parts of your face move to make different expressions. So for me to try to make like a different expression just using the eyelids, not even eyebrows, like that's the main part that would probably move is the eyebrows, but you can't really, I mean, I guess More for Less kind of came up with their own little thing to do that, but just with the eyelids, you gotta be really particular. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is, in a costume form, unless you've got some kind of robotics going on, you cannot get a perfect facial expression change, and that makes me suffer because I'm a perfectionist. So, and that's all right. That's just the nature of the beast. But it's just gonna take me a bit of tweaking to make sure that I get it just the way I like, because I won't settle for anything but the best. Unfortunately or fortunately, I guess that depends. Oh, hey Mellobuster, how you doing? Ravenclaw, yeah! I'm recording my Harry Potter series today, more, so I decided, you know, I should probably put on my Ravenclaw shirt. I'll show you, it's like a Christmas ugly sweater shirt, but I really like it. Hufflepuff! You know what? I think Hufflepuff needs to win the House Cup for once in their lives. I feel so bad. So, Renn, are you a Hufflepuff? Because, you know, you did just say Hufflepuff. Mellobuster, what are you? Also, you said you're lurking, so if you don't answer that, that's fine. I'm sorry. Alright, so I have a paper cutout of the eye here, so I can look at it, and I can kind of just draw where the eyelid would look like where it would be here. So, of course, like, basically, everything you do has to start with paper. You gotta make it look great with paper. Ooh, she anger. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute, actually. If I flip it over, you can see this side. I think this side here, her left side here, I think it looks a lot better than this side, so I'm going to try to work on this side mostly today, and I'll mirror it when we get off stream, because I think this side is just looking better. That's cute. I gotta get it in camera better. I like that. That's a good expression. If I could just move my hand, that'd be great, so it wouldn't be in the way. Maybe one day I'll experiment with movable eyebrows. But for now, even just moving the eyelids actually can give you a lot more expression than I would have expected. Wonder if we could do like a sleepy. That would be a cute one, like a sleepy one. Of course, it's kind of... I would have to cut out another eyelid. You know what? We might have to do another stream just on eyelids. I think that these eyebrows are fine. But so here's what we'll do. After the stream, I'll take some photos. I'll do some mock-up eyelids, and I'll send some photos to Renn so we can make sure this is going the right way. Because this is kind of experimenting stuff that I want to make sure I do it right. And on stream, it's a little bit harder for me to focus on trying new techniques, like making eyelids that I haven't done before. So, yeah. And then maybe after that, we'll do a stream of explaining how to do eyelids. Once I'm sure I know how I'm doing it. But yeah, we'll just do the muzzle today on stream. I will contact you after the stream. If that's okay. Oh, you got Hufflepuff on the quiz. Good. I think that we need more Hufflepuffs. Like, Hufflepuff are just the nicest, most awesome people. Like, I would love to be a friend with a Hufflepuff. I guess I mean, I am. I would love to be friends with more Hufflepuffs, I should say. Okay. That's good? Okay, great. I wanna do what I intended to do with the stream today, but I also don't wanna, like, lead the head in a way you don't want, so. Okay, yeah, so I have gotten distracted a little bit. Oops. Nose is too big, I think. It makes the whole muzzle look too... Also, why is it so dark in here? I had more lights. Why did it get dark? I have so many lights set up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 lights and the window, and it's still just never bright enough. I need, like, a massive light. Okay. So, I do think I want to redo the nose. I know! I changed my mind very quickly. I was like, wait a minute. I'm talking to you right now. So I have at least one Hufflepuff friend, at least. Yeah. I'm a little slow. Alright, I'm gonna chop the nose. We're gonna try again. I'm not into the nose. I'm trying again. Alright, so when you're dealing with the noses, there's a few ways you could go about doing it. So you can make a muzzle, like I did, like just make the whole muzzle. Like that's obviously the first step, is to have the muzzle ready for the nose. Then when it's time to put a nose on, you could either A, do what I did, where you just literally just sculpt it out of foam, and then you can cover it with fabric and stuff. That's the way I tend to do it, and it's the way I like to do it. Or B, you can get like a 3D printed one that's already done, and you just stick it on there. And, or C, you could get like a resin printed one or a silicone one. So I guess you could either get one that's prefabricated or you could sculpt it out of foam. So I guess there's just two choices there, really. And if you're having trouble making the nose the right shape, it might be beneficial to get a pre-made nose, because it's easier just to stick it on there than to make sure the muzzle shape is correct and the nose shape. It's kind of like a double whammy. It's kind of hard, but if you have one that was pre-made, it'd be easier to hold it up and then see the rest of the muzzle and be able to tell the problems with it. But maybe. It's up to you. An LED shop light. Oh! Why have I never thought of that? That's what you have for grooming the dogs. That makes sense. It'd be nice and bright. Gee, I could really use that, because no matter how hard I try, it's never, ever, ever bright enough in here. Okay, so I don't really like the way this is going here. It's kind of hard to see. I'll put my hands behind it. It's just... it's not committing. It's not committing to a specific shape. It's just kind of a blob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another layer of foam over it so I can sculpt properly the way I want it. Either that or I can cut more out. If I add another layer, then it'll get too thick again. And my muzzles tend to go on like the too large side. I like large muzzles, but it's like I gotta try to get towards the more normal side, because most people don't want a giganticus muzzle like Figby's. It's not huge, but it's on the larger side. They're like $15. That's it. Why am I lagging? That's not good. I don't like that I'm lagging. Hello? Am I still live? I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure I'm dropping frames like crazy. Okay, I mean, it looks fine now. What the heck? Okay. I guess I'm still live. I guess it's fine. Alright, so when you're doing the muzzle, let me try to explain my mental thought process, okay? You have this part that goes down. This part right here, this thin little area, I try to make it flat. Oh good, I'm still live. Okay. I couldn't tell because I was dropping so many frames. Hey, Gaming Shaper, how you doing? So I try to make this section in the middle flat, and then I try to make these two sides right here angle. And then this part right here is kind of more rounded at the bottom. So that's my main goal with the muzzle. You're good? Or you're fine, I guess. I'm good too. I woke up with a massive headache today. I have no idea why. I'm sad about it. Alright, so I'm still trying to decide if I want to shave this down at the muzzle or add more. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm running out of foam. So, well, at least I was running out of foam. So I went to the store and I got like 3 huge rolls of foam. And that's great, but boy... I mean, when just one of these little rolls costs $17, like, I want to die. It's like, hey, if you're better at your job and you waste less foam, you make a bigger profit. It's really sad, but it's true. But, yeah, I will use as much foam as I need, of course, but I'm just saying, maybe one day when I get better, I'll waste less foam. I feel really bad when I throw out a ton of foam, like, because I know it's expensive, and it's probably really not great for the environment, but when I throw out foam, it's a huge bags full of just shredded foam. Just, it's a lot. And I would reuse it, like, I would use it to make dog beds or stuff, but 90% of the pieces have, like, hot glue chunks on it, and it's not gonna work. It's not good. It's definitely, you have to throw it out. Yeah, right? Eat some Oreos? Okay, secretly, I actually just ate a whole bag of Oreos. I mean, it was just one of those little ones, a little bag, but still. I still ate a bag of Oreos just before I went live. Eat some Oreos, you'll be fine. Yeah, $17 for that foam, just for one of these rolls. One of these rolls. It doesn't even last that long. Oh god. Camera's going down. Okay. Okay, we're good? We're good. Oh gosh. I should have been holding this. It's coming unglued. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well. I think this should be good if it just doesn't... I mean, I'm wondering if I held this long enough or not. I hope it stays. Okay. Staying in the range of the camera. That's the hardest part for me. Alright, this isn't bad. So I put that extra layer on there, mostly, not really for the side view, but mostly for this front view, because of this under area was not the greatest. So that looks a lot more smooth. That's a lot better. So now I'm just going to kind of take advantage of this to make a nice and smooth transition curve thing. Gaming Shaper, do you like Harry Potter? Because if you do, what house are you in? We're having a good Harry Potter day. I might have to shave off a lot more of this because it's pretty thick. I wish there was like 1/4 inch foam, but there's only 1/2 inch unless you cut it yourself. And sometimes it's just too thick. Sometimes you just need a really, really thin piece to just smooth out that last bit. Alright. So let me look at it in the camera. Gryffindor, yeah! Oh, okay. Bye-bye, have fun! Alright, so when you're doing any kind of cutting on foam, you gotta look at it from all the different angles. So I'm kind of looking at it from like a 45. Like, it looks like a straight on for you guys because the camera's to my right a little bit, but looking at it from like a 45-degree angle and then straight on, you don't want to just completely sculpt the whole thing based on one direction of the which way you're looking at it, because then later on you'll turn it and then you'll be like, oh, this actually looks terrible. That's something that I used to do when I was first making character models and when I was doing 3D modeling. Way back in the day, I would focus too hard on one side, and then when I rotated the model, it would be not that great. It would make it a little bit difficult, so then I would have to backtrack to make sure everything looks good together. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to do some more mirroring. One side looking better than the other in certain areas. Oh, yeah. And when you get to this point, the more glue that's on there, the harder it is to make it nice and smooth, because it doesn't want to, like, it's not as easy to cut through the foam when there's glue there. And when you're getting this down to the bone, this perfect, like, you're very close. That's when it starts getting more difficult. Okay, so here, let me go down a little bit. Here's like a downward view of the muzzle. So it's wide. It's a little bit too wide for my liking. So you can try to... By this point, you should have your eyes really set. Like, everything right here should look really good. So you can use your eyes to measure. So, looking at this, the end of the muzzle comes up right here. Kind of at, like, just a little bit over the halfway point of the eye. And this one is more... It's almost basically right in the center of the eye, so you can use the eyes, how wide they are, to try to like measure the exact distance, like how thick the muzzle is on each side. I think it's a little bit wide. Just a little bit though, but it's also a little bit long. So that's the great thing about foam, is I can kind of shove it into place with my hands to get a visual of what I'm looking to try to make it, and then... Alright, so if I make it a little bit thinner here... Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Just a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter. Yeah, that'll do it. A little thinner, a little shorter. Because right now, it's just kind of like a 90-degree angle, almost like here to here. What you want is you want that cheek piece, and then you want like a kind of a curved piece that's like a 45-degree angle, and then you want that straight up and down vertical piece. So right now, I mean, this side's a little bit closer. It's got the cheek, the curve, and then it comes down, but it's not perfect, and that's just because the muzzle's too wide. So when we bring the muzzle in, you'll have that curve will be a little bit stronger, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's shave it down. By the way, I'm just very perfectionist. If we furred this right now, I'm sure it would still look totally fine. So, yeah. The only time that you really need to be this particular, like, as crazy, wildly particular as I am, is if you're covering it with something that's thinner. Like, if you didn't use fur, like, if you just used, like, minky, that's very much thinner. You'd be able to see the shape better. Or if you covered it with something like spandex. You can get some really cool spandex patterns. But if you covered it with something like this, you would see every bump, every detail. So, it depends on the fabric you're using, really. But with faux fur, it covers up a lot, and it's awesome. Of course, you still want it to look nice, because if you don't make the bare bone underneath look nice, then the skin on top will not look nice. So, I think the biggest thing is mirroring it properly. Like, if the muzzle's a little too big, whatever. I mean, if this is a little bit too tall, whatever. But if it's mirrored badly, that's going to be noticed very easily. That's one of the biggest troubles. So off stream, I think it was like another hour of just mirroring work. So total off stream work on this head was 3 hours. I'm trying not to do too much, because I want to do most of it with you guys, just so you can get an idea of how much work actually goes into this, and you can follow along easier. Alright, so don't forget, you want this top piece kind of flat. At least in my style. My style, I like to make this top piece kind of flat, and then the side angles, the side's a bit angled a little, so I'm going to go over it again to try to make it actually that shape, because, and everybody has a different style. There's so many cool different styles out there, like, but if you just want a basic guide, like, you want to try to follow somebody, yeah, I mean, go ahead, try to follow what I'm doing. If you want to experiment, try your own thing, go ahead. I'm sure it will turn out fine no matter what you do. As long as you're trying to make it nice, I'm sure it will turn out nice. Alright, that's looking better already. We really do need to add the nose on there, though. See, I have some pre-made noses that I have just made out of foam. Just for this, so that I can hold it up and try to make sure the muzzle looks right. Because the thing is, if you make the nose after you make the muzzle, which you have to do the muzzle and then the nose. You can't do it the other way around. And then you put the nose on and you're like, oh man, with the nose on, I can now tell that the muzzle looks all kinds of weird. It's just, it's a little bit cursed. You just can't win. Alright, so I'm just looking at this smile here, trying to make it just that perfect curve in the direction that I want. Alright. So, now that we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, I am worrying a little bit more about little details, like tiny little pieces here, like hanging down too low or something. But I'm also still not worrying super, super intensely about that, because we'll do like one last final shave. But right now, we're still kind of sculpting the muzzle. So, don't freak out about the tiniest details yet. We're gonna get there. But right now, we're still just trying to make sure that the muzzle and the big sections are good first. Alright, muzzle's a little bit thinner now. Still a little large. Part of the problem is just the shape of the muzzle needs to be tapered right here, like the angles that I was talking about. And the front. Okay, this would look great if it was a Dutch Angel Dragon. It just looks like a really long Dutch Angel Dragon nose right now. Okay, so what I need, I'm trying to make this curve up. I don't want it to just be like a Dutch Angel Dragon nose. We're going for wolf. There we go. Okay, so I do have to do some work on both sides again. Cool. I was hoping this would be the last stream on this, but honestly, what's probably going to happen is we're going to get, like, done, in quotations, and then after the stream, I'm going to have to mirror over the parts, because it's going to take a long time of just, like, probably, like, 2 hours of me just looking very closely at both sides, making sure that every piece is perfect, and that's... Not only does that take a lot of focus, but it just takes a lot of time, and it's really boring to watch. And I would prefer to focus on it better, rather than stream that most delicate part, so I will probably finish, in quotations, then I'll mirror it, and then the next stream we'll talk solely about eyelids, if you're doing, like, interchangeable eyelids, and I'll talk about what kind of magnets I would use, or if you don't want to use magnets, I guess you could use Velcro, but magnets are ideal, and how to shape them. I know what to do, I would like to talk with Renn first, off stream, to make sure that I actually am making the thing the way she wants it. So, yeah. And then... So yeah, okay, next stream probably is gonna be solely in eyelids, and, yeah, this is just a solely eyelids stream, and then after that we can start patterning the head for furring. Yeah, definitely need some mirroring here. So, let's look in the mouth for a second. I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer. Okay. Lower. Lower it down a little. No, higher. Oh, I can't win. Okay. Now we're too close. Oh man, I just can't get the camera in the right spot. Alright. I blame the camera, but it's my fault. I should be able to get the camera in the good spot. Okay. So here is where we added some extra foam. And because of this, it's a bit thicker here. Like, this is a whole thick section. Wow, I'm dropping frames again. That's not good. I'm sorry about that. Let me make sure everything is okay. Because that's not great. Yeah, okay. So I was changing settings to try to make the stream work better, but obviously there's still some trouble, so I'm gonna work more on that after I'm done today. I've got a lot to do after I'm done today. Sorry. So if we drop some frames today, I'm sorry about that. I'll fix it for next time. Oh yeah. I was talking about the muzzle. Okay, so inside the mouth here, this is a pretty hefty piece, and it doesn't need to be. So I might shave it in a little bit, because the lighter... Okay, so Figby's muzzle here is quite heavy, and it kind of sags, and that's not my favorite, because it's heavy. It makes it hard, and it makes it heavy on the head in general, just to wear it, so... I'm doing my best. Ah! Thank you! I'm trying. Thank you for supporting me. It makes me feel happy. I feel like less of a, I don't know, I don't want to stream if it's pointless and nobody likes it, but when, like, at least one person does, it makes me happy, so thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna make this part a little bit thinner, because we don't need this extra foam here. It's just gonna weigh it down. Make the head heavier to wear, and might make the muzzle sag down. You don't want that. You want it nice and lightweight. As close as you can make it, at least. Here we go. And I just can't get the camera in the right spot. Is that better? I think that's a little better. Oh, thank you! I'm gonna go cry. Thank you, Renn. You're the sweetest thing. I hope I have nothing to even say. That's just so sweet. Thank you so much. As long as at least one person is enjoying it, it's worth it to me. So, yeah, I'm just thinning out this area because it's way too thick. Just from the inside. Like, the outside right now is okay, so from the inside I'm going to thin it out. Even the sides here are a bit thicker than they need to be. Like, it could be way thinner than that. And if you have a fan in the muzzle, this is where you would need to put it, so it's... You don't want it just to be a flat block here. That would be bad, because not only would your person wearing it have the worst time trying to breathe, but it would be heavy, and you wouldn't be able to... I mean, depending on your fursuit, depending on how it's made, if you want, you can make it so you can peek through the mouth. And people who see me wearing my fursuit laugh all the time, because I'm always just peeking through the mouth. But, I tend to not make them like that anymore, because I prefer to make it so the eyesight is so good that you don't even need to peek through the mouth. So I prefer to make it differently than I used to, but even so, the bigger the gap in the mouth, the better. Okay, so, right here, on the inside, I like to make this just kind of like a nice open curve, and there's no reason for extra foam to hang down like right here. And sometimes it is like that. Like when I first make this muzzle, like there's a ton of foam right here, cause like that's where the muzzle was, but it's not necessary right here. So I usually just follow along with the curve here, and then inside here I'll cut it down, cause I've already done it. That's why it's a nice curve here. But yeah, it's not necessary to have an opening like this tiny for your poor person to wear. You can have it nice and wide. She be a thick girl. Right? I hope that the style is okay with you. Most of my fursuits end up the same styles. And, I mean, let me start over. Every artist has their own style, and I hope that you like mine, basically. But of course, if there's something you want me to try to change, I will. Yeah, we'll definitely take a better look at the eyebrows. I'll get some better pictures, and if you want, we can even do like Nah, that wouldn't work very well, but yeah, I'll just get some good pictures. And I'll take a picture of it and I'll do some drawovers digitally so we can see what the eyelids would look like. That way, if I need to change the head shape, like the eyelids or eyebrow shape to make the eyelids look better, I can. I think that would be the best idea. Sometimes digitally drawing over helps a lot. I used to do that a lot more. I should do it more again. Like whenever I get stuck, sometimes I can tell that something doesn't look great and I just can't place what it is. And sometimes it's just something like the muzzle is a little too wide or just some tiny little detail, but it makes the whole thing look off. And if I can't figure out what it is, if you take a picture of it and then you put it on the computer and draw over it, that can help you solve the problem. Or, you know, if you want to ask others for help, you can take a picture of it, ask somebody else to draw over it. That's what we used to do in art school all the time. Just go to your roommate and be like, hey, can you draw over this for me? And they're like, yep! And you would both just help each other with your art. It was normal, you know? Just, hey, draw over this for me. Alright, and you might see there's a little bit of light coming through here. I cut a little bit too thin. It's a little bit thin here. That's not... So you don't want to have a spot that's too thin. It doesn't matter where it is. The ear, the back of the head, the muzzle. You don't want to have a spot that's very, very thin. Like, at least have 1/4 inch of foam thickness. And this is obviously way too thin because there's a hole here. Oh man, I'm sorry about all the dropping frames. I'm not sure why it's doing that because it wasn't doing it the other day. You know what? Let me check Steam. I just traded out hard drives and cuz I got a solid state for Christmas. No, it's not that. So I've been downloading some of my Steam games again. I had to re-download. Yeah. I was thinking maybe it was that, but it's not. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, the stream is basically unwatchable. Alright. So to make this mirror, I need to make sure that this is just as deeply cut in as this side. And this side is just a huge... It's just got a huge mass. I need to cut it thinner. Yeah. Basically, just lots of mirroring. Cool. Yeah, I do think that this... Where's my X-Acto blade? I should be using my X-Acto blade for this. Make this inside muzzle thinner still, because there's no reason it needs to be this thick, and... You know, the thicker the heavier, and that's not good. Unless you want to give the wearer a headache. Alright, that's much better. So I'm going to make this top piece thinner still. Just going to keep working on it. Honestly, one of the harder parts to mirror is the inside. Like the inside of the muzzle and the jaw. Like just the inside of the mouth. Because usually what I'll do is I'll basically always, I'll put a color like black minky in there. After, when I'm furring it, I'll put black minky inside the mouth. But the pattern, for whatever reason, is so hard to make it match. And it's just because... Frankly, I have the worst time mirroring it, and I think it looks good. Like, I'll check it, and I'll be like, yep, that looks great. But then when I go to make the pattern for the inside of the mouth, it's just like, why doesn't this match? So even when I'm making the pattern for the head, even then, sometimes I'll have to do some tweaks to make it match both sides. Like, I'll have this pattern down, and I'll start I'll test it on this side, and then this side it won't fit, and I'll be like, ugh! Oh, that's so cute. I love that, Renn. Those are cute. I'm glad, I mean, I was working on fixing the stream, and I fixed a lot of stuff, so I'm glad I was able to not break the emote wall, because I broke it for a little bit. I broke the emote wall, but it was just because I accidentally layered it wrong. Okay, that's much better. See how light it is? It's able to bounce. That's cute. Come on now. Right. This camera is just too close. There we go. Let's see. So, yeah, still too wide. I just have a problem, okay? I just really like my muzzles to be very wide. I guess it's just a style choice that I accidentally just keep gravitating towards. But at least I can see the trouble. I can see the problem and I know how to fix it, so let's keep working on it. Oh, something I was gonna bring up during the stream. Okay. The ears. So I had mentioned before when we were putting on the ears that you really only need like the one base layer, and that's this up here, like that 1/2 inch thick foam layer. And that's true, that's what I use for my base. But then I put this another 1/2 inch thick layer on top of the side here and here. I forgot to mention, I usually put another 1/2 inch thick layer on the back. And the reason for that is because I can make it rounded. So for this third piece, this piece on the back, I trace the ear pattern onto a paper, and then I'll make it smaller by a little bit. So let's say that that's like the ear pattern. I will purposely make it smaller, like this. I'll bring it closer. I'll leave the bottom the same, but I'll purposely make the top a little bit smaller, and then I'll cut out another layer, and that's the layer I'll put on the back. So that's why this layer is a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, so that now we can round out the edges here. And then it'll look nice and round and be really cute ear. Okay, so if you get to that point and you're like, why is my ear not round? Oh, there goes the light. I'm not picking it up. It's way over there. That's a lot of effort. Alright, so you might be at this point and you're like, why is my ear kind of like stair-steppy? Like down here, it's kind of stair-steppy. And the reason for that is you probably just didn't shave it round enough. Oh, God, it's dropping. You probably need to shave it a little bit more round. That was one of the things that I wasn't great at first, was knowing how much to round out the edges. Because I'd be worried that I'd like round it too much and I'd cut off too much foam. So I was always very minimal with the amount that I would cut the corners to round it out. So here's like the front here. Give you a good camera angle. So you want to just, you know, make it nice and round, but you don't want to do too much. It's hard to learn how much to cut, but if you round it out and it's still kind of blocky looking, you probably need to cut more. Especially this line right here, like this outside line right here that I was just cutting. I don't go very deep with that. I'll just be very surface level, very lightly chopping around it. And same, I'm so sorry about the lag. Oh, it's not lag, I'm just dropping frames. Oh, yes! I was gonna talk about Bouncy Ears. Yeah. I was gonna ask you, is that something you're interested in? Because that would be really fun. I'm sorry I'm dropping so many frames. That's... Alright, so yeah, so these... Right here, there's this 90-degree edge, and then there's this one on the outside here. And then, from this angle, the back, there's one here, and there's one here. So these back sides, you can be very frugal. Not frugal. I think that's the opposite of what I was trying to say. You can be very generous. You cut off lots, make it very, very round. But these two front edges here, these corners, you want to be very, very, like, delicate. Don't cut off much on these at all. There's just, if you cut off a lot, it'll just be all gone. You'll cut off the whole thing. So yeah, just gonna delicately cut these down. I love how I was working on the muzzle, and then I had an epiphany, and then I remembered the ears. Yeah, so if you want to do bouncy ears, I've seen different people do this in different ways. I've seen people do it with, like, a wire set, and quite frankly, I don't know how they did that, because wire, I don't know. Just the things I've worked with wire, it's just, I could see it getting bent out of shape too easily. I have no idea. People have done it. They've made it work. But the way I've done it before was it built in the foam itself. So basically, you have this thickness of ear. It's not very thick. It's an ear. It's pretty thin as it is. But you make it hold on by just this one base layer only. So you can make it so it's not glued on the bottom back down here, but only that front base layer. So if it's not completely fashioned on there, it's held on by less. It's able to flop more. And that's how it would make floppy ears more. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So basically, to do that, I would have to cut out some of the foam back here behind the ear so that it would have the ability to fold back. And I would have to cut out some of this foam here in front of the ear so it would have the ability to fold forward. And I would have to leave just enough foam intact in the middle here so it doesn't break off. That way, it's able to fold and bounce. And then, when you're furring it, you need to make sure that the fur isn't completely super tight. Because if it's super tight on there, it's going to be stuck. It won't be able to fold. But you have to leave a little bit extra so that it can fold forward, and a little extra so it can fold back. So that when you try to bounce your ears, it will be able to move. That's fine with me. Personally, I mean, Figby's ears they're straight and they're stuck on there, and I really like that. The only trouble I've found so far with Bouncy Ears is that whether you use a wire or but build it in the foam, I'm concerned that eventually it'll start being too floppy, like it'll flap down too hard. I don't know. I haven't had a fursuit personally that had bouncy ears, and I haven't owned it for a long time, for like years or something, so I can't tell you firsthand how long bouncy ears last before they start going, or if they just last forever. I have no idea. I haven't talked to anybody who has a suit with bouncy ears about it before, so maybe somebody else knows better. Yeah, that's fine, Renn. And if you change your mind, let me know. Maybe we can do some research, because I haven't. I mean, I've made it work before, is what I'll say about it. I don't know the long-term ramifications, which I think is probably something I should learn, because it's like when you're doing any kind of craft, I'm always worried about, like, where I'm gonna use this craft, or if it's just gonna go directly to storage. Basically, I'm always worried about what the long-term thing is gonna be with this craft. And when you're working with fursuits, something that its purpose is to last a very long time and be very, very durable. That's something that you should really be aware of. Yeah, I will look into that. Durability over, happy bounce. Yeah, I feel like that. I know! The stream is crashing! I don't know why. I'm really sorry. See, the only way for me to fix it is if I completely shut down the stream, which I can do, but, you know, I don't want to annoy anybody, but as it stands, I'm sure it's very annoying at, like, 0 frames per second. Maybe I should tweak that. Yeah, I do. I have 2 of the same cam. It's possible. It is possible. Let me try plugging a fan in. Huh. Yeah, I have no idea. It could be my PC overheating. I have a fan that I keep underneath, but it's like not on right now because I need the USB for the cameras. It's okay now. That's what the heck? Why does it just decide to be better now? Alright, so right here I have not shaved down the back of the ear yet. And it's a little darker because I had to unplug one of my lights. Yay. I'm sorry. Alright. So, see, if you didn't shave this enough, it would still have this please. I cannot get the camera in the right spot. There we go. If I didn't shave this enough, it would just kind of have this stair-step look still. So, the purpose of adding a whole extra layer here is that, on the back of the ear, is that we can just really go to town on cutting it at a rounded angle to really, really make this nice and gradient-like. Just very round. So yeah, if you did that on the front of the ear, it would be bad. But the back of the ear, that is totally fine. There we go. So, for a while now, I've decided I haven't... Okay, so I know some people, and I think More for Less is the main people that really made this popular. They came up with some, like, movable eyebrows. Oh, is Della in here? Yeah. Hey, Della. Oh, I know, right? That's where they're there. They're there to make sure that you're dying. They're here to make you scared. They're the funniest thing. Like, I just kind of put it there for a temporary thing, but now I love them. Like, I was gonna put it in another room, but I didn't have anywhere to put it at the moment, so I put it back there, and then everybody laughed at it so hard at the stream, and I'm laughing at it, and it's just, you know what? It belongs now. This is its life. Yeah, I can definitely speak English. Can you believe it? Alright, this is getting really hard. I'm gonna take this off the head. Ugh. Bye-bye! Alright, that's a bit better. I'll be able to just shave the ears a lot better without that big heavy head. Della is here. We are just working on stuff like usual. I was like, It's every time I work on something, I'm like, yeah, I'm almost done. I'm doing great. And then the next time I look at it, it's like, oh man, I see 1,000 million problems. This is gonna take me longer than I thought. And then I'm sad. Alright, maybe I just had too many things plugged into my laptop, because since I unplugged the extra lights that I had plugged in, they're just USB lights, but that's what I have to work with, so. But yeah, like, I don't know, I unplugged it. Now we're not lagging as much. Okay, so here's the back of the ear. Nice and round. Make sure you round out this back section right here and up here. You do have a little bit of an awkward opening at the top here. Might have to add some foam in here to fill this little hole. Because that's not supposed to be a hole here. But we are still here. Oh, you know, I still can't find Donkey. Shrek is there. He's ready. Okay, so after I'm done with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, I'm gonna do Shrek 2 for Game Boy Advance. Be prepared. I've gotta find, that's my deadline. I've gotta find Donkey by then. He wasn't in the place I thought he was, so now I really have to search for him. I know I still have him, he's just lost. I wanna buy those cat shoes. Where? I have cat shoes? Do I have cat shoes? If I have cat oh, the ones, yeah. Those ones that I was working on. Yeah, they're somewhere. They're over in my work pile behind that way. I would sell them, but they're for a commission, so I could do a separate commission if you want, but yeah, unfortunately those are already spoken for. Yeah, so up here at the top of the ear, the back, I really round this one out pretty well. If you don't round out the back of the ear really well, it looks like a block. So like the top of the ear here, see how it looks like a block still? That's not great. We're not going for that. We're trying to make it nice and thin at the top, the way it's supposed to look. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do like slippers though. I love those cat slippers. I wish I had some more. I'm gonna have to make some for myself. Alright, looks like we didn't even cut this side yet, so I guess we're doing that now. So much work. I know, right? Figby needs a lot of work. I've been meaning to remake Figby, and dude he just needs so much. He needs new hand paws, new feet, bodysuit. Basically, he needs a whole redo. He needs a 2.0. But I've just been busy with everybody else's commissions. I just don't ever take the time to work on my own stuff, but that's fine. I gotta make a living. Okay, this is nice and round. I like it. I'm pleased with how these ears are looking. Make sure the bottom is nice and round too. This part could use a trim. Okay, now let's check out the front. Make sure the front looks good. Yeah, it's nice and rounded. A little bit of stair stepping here. I need a little bit more. Sorry you guys only get to see my arm. If I could move my camera, it would be better, but, like, my camera is there. It's not moving. It's such a hard thing to move. Alright, and a tiny bit more rounding on the inside here would be better. Nice. Okay. Now I'm just gonna get all this extra foam off. Yeah. Oh, it's going good. I'm what they call a key holder. So I'm kind of like a junior manager almost. So that's cool. I feel very special. Don't move my... You're right. Okay, every time I bump the camera, it messes up. You're right. Okay, I'm gonna be careful. Be careful not to bump the cam. Okay. Ears look mostly good. It's a little bit awkward up here. Yeah. So just looking at everything from every angle, that's the best way to make sure it looks good. And even after all this shaving, I think the ears still need more even, because it still could be nice and round. It could be more round. So, let's go. And just keep working on it. Like, when you're working on rounding out the back of the ears, you can really go ham on it. Like, you really gotta round it. Like, this is probably the roundest, the most effort you need to put into rounding anything on the fursuit. Like, I mean, rounding the muzzle or around the eyes, anytime you gotta do a slight bit of rounding on the foam, like, the ears trump all of that. This is the part where you're just shaving off just tons. Oh, that looks better already. Okay, so see this nice round ear? It really does look round. This one still looks kind of blocky, so let's go again. How strange your cams take revenge. Don't bump me or I'll stop working. Right? They actually do that. They're mean. They're after me. They take personal insult when I bump them on accident. Alright, usually when I'm rounding out stuff like this is the most likely time of when I accidentally snip myself with the scissors. So if you're rounding out stuff, be careful, because this is always the part where I accidentally injure myself. Kind of cursed. I'm getting tired. My arm's getting tired. Well, my left arm is getting tired. It's not mirrored for you guys, is it? My left? No, that looks right. Okay. I was wondering if my camera mirrored the image, so if it looked like it was my right arm to you guys or something. I don't know how mirroring works, but my camera has done weirder things. Okay, that looks good. Dang it. Whenever I'm like, okay, we're good, then I notice a problem again, and I'm just... It never ends. It's just like a video editing project. It's the same thing. When you think you're done, you're still not done. You'll always find more troubles. Cool. I dropped one of the eyes. I don't know where it went. Down here somewhere in the foam graveyard. Alright, so without the eyes, here's what it looks like. Got the holes where the eyes are, but they're very specifically shaped because we worked hard to make sure that they would fit perfectly. There we go. Alright. So yeah, ears look good now. Forgot that we had to touch up on that. This is the part where I accidentally injure myself. Me with literally any of my hobbies. Why does it gotta be like that, Zella? Why are we like this? We're both cursed. Let's see now. I need to shave this. This doesn't look good. And where's the other eye? Ugh. Yeah, it's just on the floor. Okay. Well, I'm glad we fixed the ears. That was a quick little pit stop. Didn't intend to do that. Also, when you're putting in the eyes, if you have eyes that you keep putting in and out like me, make sure they're rotated correctly, because just a slight rotation, like up or down, or even like an angle like this, the angle is actually very important. So make sure you try to keep consistent with the angle. Make sure that both sides are symmetrical. Like cross stitch. You'll stab myself a bazillion times while trying to thread the needle. Just like, come on! You'll finally thread the needle and you'll just be like, too bad my fingers are all broken and I can't sew now. Okay, I was gonna work back on the muzzle again, but now we need to make another pit stop. So, during after that last stream, I wanted to... I tried on the head, because I like to try them on, make sure they're comfortable, and there wasn't enough foam on the forehead, so... Oh, cool. Thank you, Figma. Nom, 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 nom. So, I ripped out the liner. Here's the liner. I ripped it out. Unfortunately, it had to be done because I didn't like the way it was gripping onto the head. Basically, it wasn't gripping good enough. So, you might wonder, what is the best way to make the inside of the head so where it's comfortable and that it holds on to the person's head but doesn't rest completely on their nose? Like, how do you do that? Especially if the person has glasses. How do you make it comfortable for this poor person? Well, once I stick the eye back in, I'll tell you. Okay, inside of the head. You do not want the weight on the nose, and you do not want the weight on the glasses. Oh, okay, bye, Schaefer. Have a good game. Thank you. You too. You are fine. Well, I accidentally made it a little too wide. Well, it's not accident. It's good for the dummy, but it's a little bit wide for me, just a hair. So maybe it'll fit you good. Oh no! Neither of your suits have room for glasses, so you just walk around blind. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, that's not ideal. So the way you want to do it is this whole area here needs to be fairly open. So here is what is the best way to explain this? Okay, when we first built it on the head, the first thing we did was make it nice and round. So this whole section in here is completely rounded, like it's all one layer. What you want to do is you want to have another piece of foam sticking out right here. And I can't show it that well, it's just not showing the best, but maybe if I show you with my hand on top of it. Right here, I have a piece of like rectangular foam holding it in place. And what that's going to do is it goes right here on your forehead. That way, the whole round part that I was talking about is around your whole head, and that one piece of extra foam is putting pressure on your forehead. That way, it's gripping tightly up here. Well, not too tightly, but tightly enough. And you can take away all the extra front foam from this front area. So you don't need any foam here on your glasses, on your nose. Even in between your eyes, you don't need any foam at all. So this whole cavern area that's like an indent right here is completely fine because all the weight is going on your whole head and most of it is being held from sliding by that forehead piece. That's something that took me a while to learn how to do it properly, but that's how you do it. And as for the rest of the inside of the head, you want to make sure that this jaw area is open wide enough where the person can get enough air and breathe well, which honestly, it shapes itself. Once you get the muzzle and the jaw, it basically shapes itself. The last thing you want to do is make sure that the person has a spot for their jaw, their personal human jaw to rest. So if it's like kind of floating, like if you try it on and there's like nothing here, you might want to add another piece of foam, because I like to have a piece of foam kind of like right either underneath or in front, or just kind of gripping their chin a little bit, because that and the forehead piece, that's what's going to keep the whole thing from slipping and sliding around. Poor Della. Blind. Alright. Ice cream pants. I swear, I'm gonna get this right. The camera is one of the hardest things for me to deal with when streaming. Alright, so first, if you want to try it on, which I suggest you try on your heads all the time, when you're working on them, because sometimes it's easier for you to see problems with it or feel problems with it. Like trying on I think it was Spartan's head. I was working on Spartan's head. I tried it on and I felt like, oh, there's a big glob of glue right here on the forehead. That's not great. That's not going to be comfortable, even with the liner. So, or you can tell if there's problems with sight lines, or if the breathing area is big enough, or if it's just too loose. All those things you can learn by trying it on. It's a little bit harder if you're trying it on, like if it's a guy head or somebody's head that's bigger than yours. It's a little harder. So the best way to do that is to try it on and then like just kind of push it back, because if the head is bigger than yours, the best way to try it on is just to push it forward and see what it would feel like if you were actually properly wearing it. But this one should fit me. There we go. Actually, I can wear my glasses. There we go. Yeah, so trying it on, a few things I can learn immediately. The sight line, very good. I can see great. Glasses space, great. I don't have any weight pressing down on my glasses. Inside of the muzzle here, pretty good, but I do need to shave down this a little. It's just a little too high. And the other thing I can tell is that the muzzle obviously needs some more shaping. So trying it on, moving around in it, looking in a mirror, I'm looking at the camera right now, it helps a lot. It makes it a lot easier to tell what the problems are. Thank you, Figma. Alright. So yeah, it's pretty good, actually. I really like how it's turning out. It's very comfortable. And again, if it didn't fit me, when I put it on, I would just kind of push it back. Like with this. Just push it back so I could feel what it would feel like to be wearing it properly. Pretty good. So the thing is, because it wasn't gripping good enough on the forehead, and I had to rip out the liner, I'm gonna have to put the liner back in. So, probably gonna do that off stream. But I can do it on stream, I guess. We'll see. I don't know if there has anybody even interested in looking at how to do that or not. We'll see. Maybe I'll just make the liner off stream, because we already did kind of make it together on stream. Maybe I'll just make a new liner, and then we could just put it in together. And yeah, of course, here's the holes where the ear holes are. Normally, you wouldn't even be able to see the person's head anyways, because there will be a balaclava covering this. Probably black. Black would be the best, because then, you know, like just a dark color or a color of their fursuit, whatever, so that if you accidentally see through the ear hole, you don't see like a bright neon pink or something. I don't know. But either way, I've never had trouble with the balaclavas being seen through the ear, so whatever color you use, it's probably fine. Phil, you aren't allowed to escape the stream. Oh no. Alright. I'm wondering, this muzzle is just giving me trouble. I'm wondering if I should, because sometimes when I'm having certain trouble with a thing, sometimes it's easier for me to just take a break with it. So I'm wondering if I should be doing the muzzle right now. I want to finish the muzzle though. I wanna like finish the thing. All right, I need to put this back on, but everything is staticky and it's all covered in foam. Oh man, the foam will static to you, and then it statics to your hair, and then you go grocery shopping, and then people wonder why you have little flakes of white all over your hair, and you're like, it's not what it looks like, and yeah, fursuit world problems. Okay. Good. So you should even be able to test it on here. If you shake this a little bit, the face shouldn't be like, it should hold pretty well. So the other day off stream when I was working on this, I cut some slits here on either side of the mouth just so I could try to hold it in different positions to try to make sure that it looked right. And I think for the most part it is fine. So I might just glue that back, because I was just doing that to make sure that the shape looked good. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Really, I need a draw over. I think that would be the best. If I can't do a draw over, or more like if I'm not willing to, if I'm lazy, or if I'm doing a stream and I don't want to, like, take a photo on my phone and then transfer it to my PC and then draw. And then the tablet drivers are, like, not working, and it can be a pain. So sometimes, instead of actually doing a physical draw over, sometimes if I can just picture it. So here's where the muzzle goes down. There's the nose. And then it comes down this way. Okay. So yeah. If you I don't know, doing a draw over is a really helpful step, but not necessary if you're able to imagine the right shapes in your head. Oh, you can, okay. Oh, thank you for showing up, Mellow Buster. It was nice of you to be here. Sorry that we had, like, 0 frame rate, and then now I'm dark, but, you know, either way, technical difficulties and all, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have fun teaching. Okay, so when I'm looking at it head-on like this, I know it's not head-on for you guys, but I can open up the muzzle like this, and just look at it head-on, and I can see, like, follow with my eyes how this curve is going down. And I can see that this one is higher, and this one is lower. Like, this side needs to be trimmed up a little to match. By the way, if you are doing your own fursuit or following along or something, I suggest you keep mirroring it the whole time. Keep the whole thing symmetrical the entirety of the time. The only reason I'm not keeping it symmetrical 100% of the time is because I don't want to bore you guys to tears. So I've been trying to do the symmetry after the stream, like between streams. I've been doing symmetry, just because it takes a lot of work, and it's just very methodical, just back and forth, go very slow, make sure you get it right. So if I were you, or if I were me, just not streaming, I would be very careful to make sure that everything is completely symmetrical at all times. Don't let anything get ahead of you. Because if I did one of the ears, and then I came back, like, tomorrow or something to try to do the other ear, like, if I didn't do it right after doing the first ear, it's gonna be hard to make it look the same. And maybe that's just me, but personal preference and testing, I've found out that doing the symmetry immediately, one after the other, that tends to get me the closest results. Or at least the easiest. It gives me the easiest time to get the closest results, because I can get it symmetrical. It's just hard. It just takes a bit more effort. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to do more Harry Potter recording today after I'm done here. I guess it depends if my headache goes away. But I want to. I really like that game. I played, I mentioned it a few minutes ago, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for Game Boy Advance. And that was a Game Boy game I played a lot. Like, Game Boy games are portable games. The Game Boy Advance, I guess I should say, is what I'm talking about. They're portable games. They're made for, you know, portability. They're kind of bite-sized experiences. Not many Game Boy games go past, like, a 10-hour mark, except RPGs. RPGs are almost always infinitely replayable, and I decided long ago that the kind of, the one game that I would play over and over and over was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, because it was so much easier Oh, thank you, Figma. Yee! Thumbs up. I would play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because there was so many different ways to play it. Like, try a different starter, try different Pokemon, go to different dungeons I've never tried. There's, like, so many ways you could go about playing the game. And any of the Pokemon games, really, you could play over and over and over and over. Hundreds of hours. But other games, like, what's something that you just beat in one sitting? Like, Barnyard for Game Boy Advance. I loved that one. That was a fun game, but, it's definitely, I mean, it has an ending, and I would go back to it and replay it once in a while, but it wasn't one of those games that you could spend literally hundreds of hours on. So long ago, when I was very young, I decided that the games I would play most were Pokemon and Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban. And the reason for that is because it is an RPG. So I'm sure if I had something like Golden Sun or, oh god, what's the other one called? I've never played it before, so I don't remember oh. What's it called? No, that's gonna drive me crazy. It's an RPG. There's time travel. It's really intense. I know I have a ROM for it, so we're gonna play it at some point. You know I can't just let this fly. I have to figure out what it is. Give me just a second here. Game Boy. Oh. I guess I don't have a ROM for it. I thought I had a ROM for that. Maybe it was place. Oh, I remember. Chrono Trigger. That's what I games like those. Those games. So replayable. So awesome. That's really where the Game Boy shined, because if you were taking a trip and you brought like 5 games, if you brought all games like that were just beatable within a few hours, you would be sad. Like, I played a lot of Shrek too, okay? But, I mean, that was a game that was beatable, and eventually I would get bored of it. But that's why the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban was special to me, because it was one of the few RPGs, those few really replayable games that I owned on the Game Boy, and I played it a lot. And I really like that game. It's actually really fun. So I'm really glad to be revisiting it with you guys. So I probably will be recording the second episode tonight, probably. Alright, so I did sculpting. Looks better. See, it looks strange because of the lighting. I wish I had some better lighting in here. Maybe if I turn off a light. Sometimes, ironically, if you turn off a light, it makes the lighting better. Riddle me that. Okay. Nah, it didn't really help. Maybe if I take the light. Come here, light. Let's put it. Wow, it's too bright. Clover cannot win. Okay, so the way I'd like to... You know what? Figby is an awesome example here. Let's look at Figby for a second. Alright. So, I can tell, because it's in front of me, in person, but I'll try to explain it to you the best I can. Here is the cheek part, okay? It curves around towards me a bit. Then there's this, down here, this cute little rounded bulbous part here. And this midsection is completely different. It's gotta be like, it's gotta continue this cute smile on the side by going up, but it also has to, like, bridge these two sections. So you don't want it to sink in, but you don't want it too bulbous. You have to have it just right, and that's the trouble with the muzzle. That's why the muzzle is so hard, because next to the eyes, the muzzle is like the thing that people see first. The eyes and the muzzle. It's like when you look at a human, the first thing you see is their eyes and then their nose. And then maybe their hair. I don't know. Yeah, it's just... There's no winning in here. It's really dark. Maybe it's camera settings. Maybe if I change my camera settings, I can make it brighter in here. There's gotta be a way I can plug another light in. I need more USB outlets. I was so happy because I finally got a replacement splitter because my USB splitter before completely broke. Like it was out, but I was happy about it, but it's still not enough. All right, come here, light. Ugh. Okay, let's do this. We have to finish this, guys. Today is the day. I mean, next time, by next time, I'll have it mirrored perfectly, but for today, I want to get it to that point where if it was symmetrical, it would be done. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Plugging in some extra lights, hoping it doesn't crash my camera. If I have too many things plugged in, it crashes. Alright guys, what do you want? Extra lighting or 0 frames per second? I gotta choose. Alright. I look like a hungry person. There we go. Alright, that's it. Sorry. We get like one camera here. At least... Okay. Yeah, we get one light. That's it. Because the other ones are just not doing. Alright, yeah, so I'm glad we fixed the eyebrows. Before they were too high, it was like too happy, like creepily happy, staring into your soul. Now, they're a good length, they're good height, I mean. And from the side view, they don't pop up too high, they're just right. Mostly, almost flat even, almost. But they actually come down a little bit, and that's ideal. Actually... Yeah, I really like it. Looks good. I'm gonna flatten out the head a little bit. It's actually a little bit bulbous up here. Not into that. I want it to be nice and round. There we go. A little bit more. Cool. I'm trying to think what other Game Boy games I used to play a lot, because honestly, those are the main ones. I had a really cursed Rugrats game growing up. It was, ooh. So there was like this spin-off series of Rugrats called Rugrats All Grown Up. I didn't have cable. I didn't watch it. Sometimes I'll go over to my grandparents' house and I'd watch an episode or two, and I didn't even really care for it that much. But, either way, I owned a game, and it was okay, but it was kind of cursed. Alright, the fact that I'm talking about it now means eventually, we're gonna have to play it. But it was kind of cursed because it was just such a teenage girl game. Like, you would play as Angelica, okay? And it was like Angelica's birthday, I think? And I can't remember the exact story, but it was like her friend or somebody also planned their birthday on the same day. And then, for some reason, you had to go and collect, like, all these papers. And every time you got hit by, like, an object, like you got damaged or something, instead of losing health, you would lose a paper. And it was just, it felt like a teenage sitcom episode, which is probably what they were going for, mixed with cursed gameplay. But I liked it, though, is the thing. I liked it enough where I've beaten it at least twice. So, I'm very curious, like, this game, like, I feel like I need to go back to it. I'm very curious. What other games did I play? I've had a few games that I just couldn't even get past the title screen because they just... As soon as you started it, there was no directions. Even in the manual, there was no directions. I wish I had a some kind of capture card for my Game Boy Advance, because I've played so much Game Boy Advance in my life. Alright, so time to fix this hole. This isn't great. I don't like that. Should we fix it from the inside or the outside? Well, the outside spot looks pretty good there, so if we added extra foam, it would make it look bad. So let's add it from the inside, right in here. So I just need a nice, really thin piece I can use. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. I didn't know you were in here. Oh, she's running. Bye, kitty. I was gonna show Kitty on the camera, but she ran away. Alrighty. Nice thin piece. We'll just shove it up in there and hope it looks okay. Yeah, actually, that'll work really well. I need some more glue. It's actually getting to a dire situation where I'm running out of glue very soon. I have to go to the store. And the thing is, I went to the store. I bought foam. I bought a few rolls of foam. But I'm just not, I don't have the foresight, apparently. I didn't think I had enough to go and buy some glue when that's what I really needed immediately. Kitty, what are you doing? I might have to go kick her out. Okay, so now that I've actually added that from the inside, now I can see that there's actually a dip right here in the muzzle, and the dip isn't good either, so there we go. Okay, we're better without a light or with a light? I think we're better with a light. Man, I just wish I had more lighting. Ugh. Yeah, so I do need to actually add another layer there, but just a really thin one. So when I need a really thin piece, I'll grab like a 1-inch foam and I'll just kind of shave a really thin piece off of it so I can glue it on there. So the other day I streamed, I believe it was this? Yeah, I believe we were working on this head. And there was like no one. There was one person. I think it was just Lulu. I mean, there was a few people were able to pop in and say hi, but there was like nobody there. And I was like, wow. There's nobody hanging out with me. And I was sad. I was like, why should I stream if nobody's here? But then Lulu, who was on the stream, reminded me, you know, it is around noon, and people probably have work and school. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I forgot, my audience ranges between a lot of different ages, but I gotta remind myself that just because I have off work one day doesn't mean that everybody else is off work and school that day. So that helped a little bit. Yeah. I felt a little bit discouraged, but I think I'm over it. So that's good. I'm glad that so when I logged in, okay, let me start over. When I finish streams, I upload them to YouTube afterwards, just in case some people don't like Twitch, or if they missed it, whatever, because Twitch doesn't save videos anymore since a while ago. They just, if you want to save a video, you gotta save it yourself and upload it somewhere. So I always upload my previous streams to YouTube, so that's what I did. And the day after I uploaded that last stream where I thought nobody was there, I got a ton of views. Like a ton for me. It was like 20-something views. That's a lot for me, man. I'm a very small channel, okay? And that really put it back into perspective for me. That, like, you know, just because not everybody can make it to your stream doesn't mean there's not one person out there who's interested in what you're doing. And that made me happy. And then I realized I should probably stop doubting myself and just keep working on what I like to do, and if other people want to come watch, they can. I just need to keep reminding myself that. But yeah, thank you guys. Whoever wants to hang out with me or whoever wants to watch on YouTube, just thank you guys. Alright, so there was a little bit of weird, awkward dips in the muzzle, so I just cut out some really thin pieces and just kind of put them on there, rounded it out. So I fixed those dips that were kind of awkward. And I think the muzzle is in pretty good shape right now. The problem is something that I need to fix, actually, in my settings. I'm not sure if I can. Currently, the way my cameras are, they kind of give like a little bit of a fisheye view. And the same thing happens with my phone camera. So let me do something really quick. I'm wondering if I can... Let's do this together. Alright. Here's a picture of Figby. I'll take a picture of Figby. Okay. Here's a picture of Figby, where I'm kind of far back, but I zoomed in on him. Take a picture. And here's a picture of Figby. I'm right up in his grill. So look at that. When I'm very close to Figby and I take a picture, the fisheye makes his nose look even bigger. But when I'm further back and I take a picture, it makes his nose look more normal. This isn't like an extreme example, but you can kind of tell how the fisheye, the photo, the camera is a little bit of fisheye effect. So if you want to have more of an accurate proportion, I have to like back up and then zoom in. And that's kind of ridiculous. That's kind of the problem we're having right here, right now. Because on camera, this looks quite bulbous, but to me, it looks fine. So the best thing I can do is just put the camera as far back as possible and hope that it makes it look a little bit less disproportionate. There we go. So yeah, that's more accurate to how it looks. Still not perfect, but you know, the best the camera can do. Yeah. So, I'm into that. Looks good. So far. I think we need to do some work down here on the bottom of the muzzle. This gap is too wide. Like, you don't want a huge wide gap. You kind of want this to kind of end in like a V, like right here, ended in a V. You don't want a big square at the end, if you know what I mean. This is a square. Like, other than that, let's look at the side view. It's just so dark, jeez. Make it brighter. Let's bring this camera, like this light, right up to the mouth. Okay. So yeah, we want that silhouette value of that perfect round smile here. So let's put on the nose. It's already, the way I make my muzzles, I basically have the muzzles built into the nose. And it's already, like the nose is already basically on there. I just gotta add a little bit more foam to stick it out more. So just, basically I work to make like a flat and then like a curve here. So it's almost like a, I don't know, what you would call that, like a 30-degree angle right here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more foam here where the nose is. And we'll sculpt the nose. And from there, we might add a little bit more foam underneath here to make this curve better. That nice rounded curve. So yeah, I'll bring the camera closer again, but just be aware that it is doing that awkward fisheye look, and I don't know if I'm able to change that in my camera settings or not, but it is a little bit bulbous. Okay. Yeah, so see how this is like a square right here? That's not ideal. We want like a V. So that means either this jaw piece needs to go taller or this top piece needs to go lower. And this jaw piece is tall enough. We need to make this muzzle go a little lower. So should we do that first or should we do the nose? Let's do the nose. Okay, so for the nose, just like when we needed to fix the bottom of the muzzle here, when we needed to fix the bottom of this, yeah, I guess muzzle, same thing, just slap a piece of foam on there, glue it on, and then, we'll shape it. Alright, from this angle, I should be able to see a little bit of that little tiny crease under the muzzle. I don't know what you would call this. A little... between the little doggy lips, I guess. Yeah, this little V shape. So I want to make sure that that shape is properly going up to the nose, the way I'm intending it to. Give me just a second. So if you have an area that's overworked, like this muzzle, this muzzle I put a lot of work into, and it's almost overworked. And by that I mean there is so much I did to it that there's more glue than foam. At that point, if the shape is still not right, you might be better off just cutting off that section and trying again. I'm not gonna do that because the shape that I ended up with right now, I'm fine with. It's close enough to where it's salvageable. But if it was still super far off, I have done it before, just like with the nose. Just like earlier, I cut off the whole nose. I had a nose on there. I cut it off because it was just, it wasn't close enough, and it would have been harder to fix it than it would to just retry. Okay, so part of the problem here is, remember how I said I wanted it flat on the top and then I wanted curve on the side? One problem I'm seeing at least, is that this flat here is bulging out like this, and that's not what I want. I want it a little bit flatter. So if I make this a little bit flatter, it will make the muzzle look better. This is definitely one huge plus for like 3D printed heads, is because you only have to sculpt it once, man, and then you can 3D print it as many times as you want. But these foam heads, you gotta do it right. Like, you gotta keep doing all these tiny little tweaks, get it perfect, and even then, it's like, it'll never be perfect symmetrical. No matter how hard you try, you can't get it perfect. So, it's a little bit, it's a little bit harder. I think if you want to do a foam head, go for it. I think they're the most comfortable, probably. I don't own any other kinds of fursuit heads. All I own is Figby's head, so that I can only speak from experience, saying after a long time of wearing Figby's head, it's still comfortable. But, I mean, out of other kinds of heads, I'm sure they're still comfortable after a while, too. But I just can't speak from experience. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to deal with making the foam base, you can get a foam base from somebody else, or even a 3D printed base might be easier. But there is something to be said about making your own foam base. It feels really special that you were the one that made it, you know? So if you can make your own, or if you're willing to go through the effort and try to learn it, it's fun. It's just, it's probably the harder way to go. But, you know, making anything yourself is always the harder way to go. But it's always more satisfying in the end that you did it. Hey, how you doing? I've had blue for several months. But the lighting is so bad in here, you can't even tell. I don't even know. Is blue. Blue? Blue. I can't even get lighting on me. It's blue. Oh, you're just crazy. Yeah, so the bottom of my hair, basically I have the blue coming up in streaks, and also on my bangs, so that as it grows out, it's not just like a line where it turns blue. So a lot of the top of my hair is brown, and then the bottom is usually more blue. Yeah. That's okay, we're all crazy. How are you doing? Okay, this is a lot better. A lot better. Yes, Clover is pleased. So yeah, let's actually add the nose. I keep saying let's add the nose, and then I keep not doing it. So, to add the nose, if you have like a already 3D printed, resin, whatever. You have one that's already made. You should probably flatten this so that you can just stick on the nose. But we are doing our foam one that's carved directly out, so I'm just going to use a thin layer, 1/2-inch foam, and just start building up like a little foam nose section here. So let's do that. Ooh. I think it's called Amber. Amber? I think that's how you say it. I think that's what it's called, yeah. It's pretty cool. I get it bleached professionally and dyed professionally, and then I'll take care of it re-dyeing it myself for several months, and then when it's time to re-bleach it, I'll have them do it professionally. But yeah, I dye it almost every day that I shower. I don't shower every day, every other day or so, but yeah. Yeah. If you accidentally over trim the foam, you gotta. It's a suffering. You gotta fix it. And if you mess up too much and you glue too much, then it just becomes a big head of glue. So it's like it's stressful. You don't want to do too many tweaks. Hey Lulu, how you doing? I was talking about you earlier. How you were totally hanging out with me the other day. Also, I still don't know how to say your name. Dan? Can I call you Dan? That's really cool that you got to hang out with your parents. How did it go? Like, 'cause that's a long time, man. Right! No piggy snout! It's gone! We should make a pig one day. I think piggies are really cute. One of my favorite villagers in Animal Crossing is Gala. And she's a pig, and she's so cute. Alright, so right now I glued on this layer, and I'm just kind of shaping it to that nose shape. You know, that nose shape. Basically, I'm trying to make the nose follow the top of this curve here, for the most part. And then the bottom part, I'm trying to make it like that V shape. Oh, okay. That's cool. Dan is good. That's easier to say and remember. There we go. That's looking better. We're getting a nose. It's existing. A pig fursuit, you'd call it a skin suit, but that sounds like a crime. Honestly, though, it does. I don't know if you could get away with calling it that. Alright. Maybe I should be using my X-Acto blade for this part. I could probably be getting a better shape. I feel like the word shape, that triggers me. Like, somebody says shape, and I'm like, oh, okay. This is good. Am I blocking the camera? Okay, I was worried I was blocking the camera with my head. Ooh, but you know what I also want to play? I really want to play Lego Island. I've been wanting to play that one for a while. So should I play? Oh, there's too many games. There are too many games I want to play. For you guys and with you guys. I don't know if I should play games on stream or if I should pre-record them, because both of those are very fun. Maybe I should do both? I don't know. Alright, I might need Renn's opinion on the size of the nose, because you all know I like to make big muzzles and big noses. I think they're adorable, but normal people don't like giganticus noses, so Renn might not be into it. I might have to ask her opinion. Because I'll do my best. I'll make it like a normal size, for the most part. I think that's pretty normal size. Let's look at this from a different angle. That's always a good idea. Okay, yeah. So that looks okay for now. So let's just build up a few more layers and just keep shaping it as we go. And there we go. Pre-record and stream. Yeah, I mean, it seems to work. I mean, that way I can... I like both, so I guess if I like both, I should just do both. Ooh, I bet I could use a thicker one on this. That would be nice. Yeah, I'll use a thicker one. Play Genshin Impact. You know, I know I've been wanting to try that for so long. That one always looked so fun. Okay, I'll see you in a bit, Lulu. I'm sorry, I'm right in the camera. Oh. Okay. So because this isn't super rounded, it's kind of flat almost. I can use a thicker piece because it doesn't bend super much. So that's nice. That'll be a little bit easier to carve through. Can we play Game of Love? If that's a real thing, I've never heard of it. Do I make the whole nose a single color or do I give it nostrils? Typically, I make it a single color. And that's because it's just a personal style preference. But if somebody asked me to, I can and would make it have nostrils if they wanted it. Personally, at this moment in time, it's not my favorite style because I think it's distracting and gross. I don't like nostrils. But if other people want it, that I would do. So basically, I would get to the point where it's ready to fur, and then I would cut out little holes where it would be, and like the nostrils would be, and then yeah, and gross. I don't want to think about nose. Yeah, I would wait till the furring section, then I would cut out the little holes and then pattern it from there. But oh, yeah. If I do play that game, I'll tell you, Lulu, you can protect me because I'm really scared. I get scared easily at video games because I don't know. I'm weak. Probably another reason I shouldn't play VR because I'm just so easily terrified. Okay. We got a big block on here. Okay. So yeah, especially if you're working with a big block of foam, you gotta be real careful not to cut off the details that you're trying to save. Basically, it's just so easy to cut off the foam, but to add it back on is a whole nother step. So I'm just gonna keep looking at it from slightly different angles to make sure that I'm actually doing it the way I want it. Let's see. Turn. Yeah, it looks okay. It looks a little bit disjointed. I'm gonna have to add some more foam, I think. But for now, it's on its way. Yeah, definitely I can already see like a million things I need to adjust on this. That's fine. That's part of the artistic process. I'm not into the nostrils. Like, people... I've had a few commissions. I don't do too many commissions, like art commissions. But when I do, I ask people, don't draw the nostrils, please. I do. At least, I've watched a good number of them. I've watched the Avengers movies and the Iron Man and the Captain America and not Doctor Strange. I haven't watched that. And I know there's a lot of TV series. I haven't watched any of the TV series, really. I haven't seen the Spider-Man movies, despite seeing the Avengers movies. I have no idea how that happened. I'm sure there's more. I just can't think of. I saw the Thor movies, but it was literally years ago. I can't remember a single thing about them. Okay. So this isn't bad. Personally, I like the noses to be a little bit... I'll have a little bit of a bulbous bulge up here would be really cute. Just a little bit, not much. And the biggest problem right now is the shape of the mouth. It's janky. And I knew we needed to adjust it. It's so dark in here. Oh, hi, kitty. Kitty's hanging out by my feet. Kitty, no. Kitty's trying to knock over the camera. Janky. Janky as in, it looks weird. I'm gonna have to bring the camera around. Cause I can't show it off as well as I would have liked. Yeah, okay. So, front looks okay. This curve here looks okay. Here needs a little, this curve doesn't look okay. This curve needs a little bit more volume right here. And from here, yeah, I could just tell I need a little bit more volume down here. So, that's what we'll do. We'll add some volume. Kitty! Oh, okay! Kitty! Dang it. See, the problem is I don't want to get near the kitty because I'll get all this foam stuck to her. And I'm already covered in foam. And if I have to let her out of the workroom. But, like, as soon as I get up, all this foam is going to transfer across the entire workroom. So there's the part where I shake out my pants. And hopefully I don't get foam all over. Alright, kitty, come on out. She shouldn't have snuck in here. If she didn't sneak in, then I wouldn't have to let her out. I never know they're in here. They, like, run in and then hide under, like, the desk or something. This is actually really good. Like, it looks good. If I furred it right now, it would be great. I'm just being really over perfectionist with this because it would look fine the way it is. So when you see it, especially from the side, you gotta remember and imagine where the neck is. It's gonna be quite big. So yeah, the last thing I want to do, I think I like the nose. It looks good. And the front is good. I will have to contact... Oh! Oh, okay, that's fine, Red. I called you Red. Renn. I figured not. I made a more normal sized nose, so I'm gonna have to ask you how you feel about this size. I think this is a good size because it's normal sized, but you're gonna have to tell me. If you'd rather, I can send you pictures. I was planning on sending you pictures afterwards anyways. So. Oh. Thank you, Figma. I think it turned out really great. It's very cute. This is a normal sized nose. And especially if you compare it to Figgy over here. There's the noses. The big boy nose. Oh, good. I've got to mirror this side, so pretend that side doesn't exist. But as for the rest of her, I think she looks great. I hope that's good, Renn. I'll send you pictures, and we'll do any last detail checks to make sure that you're 100% down. But that's good. I'm glad you're into it. Sorry. It's sunset. I mean, it's only 4, but it's already, the sun is going down, and it's reflecting in the camera in the weirdest way. Okay, so yeah, let's fix this side of the muzzle, and yeah, once the chest is added, it won't seem to be out as much. Yeah, that's part of the trouble is, it seems like the muzzle is out pretty far, but then when you remember where the neck is, and where the chest is, yeah. That's exactly it, yeah. You gotta picture, you gotta see the image within. Aw. I love that. That's like the best little emote ever. I think Macy drew that a while ago. Okay, so we're gonna finish fixing this jaw, and then honestly, it's just very small tweaks, like little tiny holes I'll probably fill in off stream, and mirroring over, because obviously this side needs to be mirrored over. It's not good. But yeah, let's finish this muzzle. We're almost there. So look at it from all the different angles. It looks good from this angle. Looks good from this angle. Really good. But when you hit this angle, that's when this doesn't look so good anymore. That's how I can tell I need some volume right here. So before you just slap on some extra foam, always check and figure out where you need the extra foam exactly. Because if you just look at it from one angle, you're not going to get the whole story. Oh yeah, this'll fix it. Yeah! Oh, I'm so excited. We're so close. I'm so excited. And if you have to rip out your liner and make the inside more comfortable like I did, that's fine. I've decided I'm going to put the liner back on stream, so if you guys want to do it with me, that's fine. However, because there is glue spots all over this liner, I'm just going to remake it. You can use the same liner if you want, but for comfort's sake, for professionalism's sake, I'm going to just remake the liner. Because right now, it's got glue. So, I did make the liner on stream. It didn't actually, I had to finish it off stream because the sewing machine broke, but, yeah, so if you want to take the liner off and you want to put it back on with me, we'll do that together. Alright, so now look at this side view. Much better. Much better down here. Much better down here. So, it looks great. Let's round out this excess up here. Wow, yeah, this one's going to turn out really nice. I can tell right now. This is going to be a really nice head. It's, like I said before, it's like, this looks awful, this looks awful. And then at the very last step, you're like, this looks beautiful. The curse of fursuit making. It only looks good at the very end. There we go. Okay, one thing I think I mentioned, but I don't remember. So I mentioned that there's this round part here, and there's the round part in the cheek, and then there's this in-between bridge. For the bridge, I try to make this part up here shallower, and this part down here stick out more. So, looking at it from above, this part, I try to make go in a little bit more, right where my thumb is, so that the part that's sticking out is down here. And that's, again, I think it's a personal preference, but the way that it ends up looking, it makes the muzzle look a lot more shapely, and I like it a lot better. So, that's just how I do that, personally. Cool. Let's get all this extra foam off of here, so we can see what it looks like. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, God. Yeah, that's much better. Much, much better. Cute! Oh! I'm pleased. Clover is pleased. And it takes a lot to please Clover. Her ma is a troublemaker. Seriously! Honestly, I think that's the part I had the worst trouble with to make it look nice. Like, other areas, like, I'm used to them being difficult, like around the eyes or getting the cheek structure. I'm used to them being difficult, but I know what to do. At least with this muzzle piece, though, the muzzle piece, well, I do know what to do. It takes a lot more effort for me to figure out why it doesn't look right. Like, I have to sit there and just, like, contemplate. Why is this not correct? It's definitely giving me the most trouble. Alright, so let's look at it again. I'm looking at it through the camera, so I'm getting the same view as you guys. Front view from the side looks good. Slight angle looks really good. Look at that curve. A little bit more. Maybe just a little bit. No, I think that looks good. That looks good to me. This side looks good. This side, no, I was right, it does. I think it needs a little bit more right here. Just a little bit more right here. It's not getting, we're not getting that perfect round, and I think right under here, we need a little bit more. Oh, that's brutal. I'm not gonna lie, though, I did do that. And then her eyes fell out. Yeah. You gotta be hardcore if you're gonna hang out at Camp Clover. If you don't behave, we're gonna slap you until you put down the extra foam that you're trying to carry. Alright. There's gotta be a scrap down here I can use. Maybe this one. Let's try this scrap first. I like to use the scraps if I can. I always feel bad, like, not just because of the cost of the foam, but I did say this earlier, I'm sorry. It's just like, I feel bad for the environment too. Like, I throw out such huge chunks of foam. Like, if I could just save as much and use as much foam as possible, it'd be great. Because I hate wasting things, and I hate just throwing out bags of foam. Just a shame. Alright, I'm gonna have to wait for that to dry before I can cut it. I tried to jump the gun, and it wasn't working for me. Alright. I think once we get this piece in, the top of the muzzle will be good, but we do still have the problem where the inside here is a square, and that's not what we want. So either we have to bring the top side in, or the bottom side in, and the bottom jaw part looked good to me, so I think what we're going to have to do is add a little bit more underneath this cheek right in here to make it close out this square. That's right! I'll get out my really big Ravenclaw socks, those long, like, knee-high socks. I'll get my revenge, you'll see. Nobody gives me trouble. Oh, okay. This is kind of hard. This is a really hard angle to see, actually. So I just gotta keep in mind that perfect round smile I'm going for. That perfect cute little round here. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better already. Gotta do a little bit more trimming, because now it's overhanging on the inside a little too much. Yeah. That's better. Oh, there's still... there's some hanging out piece in here that I forgot. We glued in earlier, and I forgot to round it out. Okay. So I guess let's look at it again. Well, hang on. Not there. Okay, now let's look at it again. Okay, front view. Yeah. Dang it. I need to shave it a little more. I was ready. I was excited. I thought I had it. Even still. I just gotta get it right, you know? I gotta get it right. If I don't get it right, it'll bother me for the rest of my entire life. You didn't get Renn's head perfect. Okay. Front looks good. Slight angle looks good. More angle looks good. That's where that dip is that we added. It's a little bit low. I'll cut it a little bit. Just a little bit. Boy, mirroring this is going to take hours. Just to get perfect, it's just going to take forever. Okay, that looks good. And side view, not good. Alright, the side view is not perfect. What's the problem? Oh, dude, that would be great. I would love that. Like, if there was an easy table that went up and down and then just turn it just in a very, very easy way to deal with it, that would make me very happy. Okay, so part of the problem is I accidentally shaved off a section I didn't mean to shave off, which was right in the front here. Right up at this nose, so I'm gonna glue this back on. Oops. I wonder how long ago I cut that off. There we go. Yeah, that would be ideal. If I had some kind of, like, turntable. Oh, man. I'm sure that wouldn't be expensive, but that would be helpful. But it would have to be, like, a kind of a turntable that's not super easy to turn. Like, I would need to be, like, right in between. Like, it would only turn when I tried to make it turn. Because other than that, like, I could see it turning. I could see it would be, like, turning way too easily and causing me annoyance. Okay. Let's try this. Front looks good. It looks good. That looks really good, actually. That looks fantastic. Okay. That's better. That was fixing the problem that I had with it. So now I gotta add some foam in here. So, let me see what we're working with. Okay. That's a good idea. I wish I had one of those table things. Look into dog grooming tables. They do all that. Some even have tables with lights inside the tabletop. Oh! They have lockable tops? What? Okay. Alright. Little did I know I actually just need a dog grooming table. That is awesome, actually. Oh, wow. Yet another thing I gotta write down to check out after the stream. Dog grooming table. Wow, that would be incredibly helpful. I would be so happy. That would save me so much effort and pain. Okay, so what am I working with in here? A nice open area. Cool. So I'm just gonna grab a scrap, just a small scrap. Yeah, something like this. Just half-inch thin foam. Just stick it in there, and then hopefully that'll fix part of our problem. Yeah. Figuring out the way it goes in before I glue it. That's also a good idea. Cool. That should do a lot, actually. Just that one slab of foam there should really help. Ah, I'm accidentally cutting through glue. I hate it when I get glue stuck to my scissors. I do that way too often when I get glue stuck to my scissors sometimes. And then later on, I'm like, I gotta get the glue off my scissors. And then sometimes I accidentally cut myself getting the glue off my scissors. So, gotta be careful of that. I don't know. Maybe we still have one in the basement somewhere. One of those turntables. Maybe. I guess we'll have to dig and see. I gotta go find Donkey anyways. I gotta have Donkey by the time we play Shrek 2, so. I already gotta do some digging. Wow. That might be worth saving up for, seriously. I mean, if I'm gonna get a work table, it might as well be something that's very useful. Something that I could really, truly use every day. Because, as it stands, it's very tough for me. Working on everything. Not even just on stream, just in general. Alright. So this is a little bit better. I still need to add more. This is that little piece we added right in here. And it definitely bridges the gap, but you can still see it's a square here, and I don't like the square. And this muzzle looks great. Like, it's adorable. It looks exactly the way I wanted it to. But we're gonna have to make this piece, this end of the smile here, go a little bit lower here, just a little bit, because we need to get rid of that square. I mean, okay, some people like that square and this square open hole. Some people leave it that way, and that's a style. My style is to not do that. I prefer it to just. Anyways, you'll see once we get there, hopefully. For my style, That's not my favorite, so we're gonna make this work, and then you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. If we do it like this... Okay, how does that look? That looks better already. I'm gonna have to add some more foam on there, but little by little, it's getting there. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, a dog grooming table. Man, that would be so nice. I'm quite sick of not being able to maneuver things the right way. I think in the long run, that would be awesome. Like, that would be so cool. It'd save me a lot of pain in the end. Okay. Let's see now. Camera's not doing good. There we go. Turn a little. Yeah. Okay, camera. The camera's on my naughty list. He's getting cool. So this curve, if I make it a little bit thicker, that'll fix our problem. So I need another chunk of foam. Okay, this'll do. It's already curved and everything. Let's see if we can make this work for us. Alright, you gonna fit? Maybe? Maybe. Alright. I hope this fits. That'll look really nice. Oh, we're so close. I mean, obviously, other than the symmetry that I gotta fix after the stream, like, this right here, this is, we're at the final, we're like, at the finish line. We gotta get there. We're right there. We just gotta touch the finish line. As soon as his mouth is done, we can. Alright, so that didn't work. Let's try a different way of doing this. Instead, I'm gonna get a thick chunk of foam. So what I was trying to do before is I was trying to add a piece underneath, just that was curved, and just add it straight up on there. That didn't work. So instead, I'm gonna take a thicker foam and just gonna shave a very thin piece, like a 1/4 inch thick piece, which is easier to do when you're carving it straight out of 1 inch foam. Because if I tried to do it out of 1/2 inch foam, it's really hard to get it nice and straight. Okay, so let's just try this. I'll put it on here and wrap it under. Yeah, that'll do better for us. You can already see that's gonna look better. All right, I'm into that. Let's glue it. Technique! That's definitely a technique that is helpful. You gotta figure out which kind of piece of foam will look best. Definitely gonna have to shave this foam once I get it on there, but that's just to round it out. It's gonna look good. Okay, how we doing? Need more glue. Yeah, I'm gonna have to run to the store, actually. I've got like 2 glue sticks left. And it's not like the entirety of the whole glue sticks are going on this head. If I had like 20 glue sticks worth on this head, that would be actually very heavy. But a lot of it just comes from placeholder, trying to figure out where things go. A lot of it ends up getting cut off. So if you just had like full 20 glue sticks worth on a head, it would be very heavy. But yeah, it's not actually like that. Alright, so I gotta make sure that it's still keeping in the right shape from the other sides. So I like it. Looking good. Let's get this curve here. Did I? Okay, I thought I cut off a spot that I really needed. I got worried for a second there. Because I would have had to add it back on, and it looked so good before that if I wrecked it, I would have been sad. Okay. That looks much better. So we don't have that huge gaping hole here anymore. It's much more small. And, okay, I was going to work on the cheeks with you guys, but turns out I didn't really need to. All I had to do is just kind of round out the cheek here, and then it was fine. So, yeah, if you still have cheeks to do, that's about it. I just rounded it out, really. That's it. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with this build. It looks really good. I'm gonna have to glue this jaw back up because, you know, I cut it so I could see different angles of it, but I'm fine with it, so I'll glue it back. So let me move the camera back, because I think we're good for now. Okay. Okay, I'm dropping things like crazy. Cool. Very cute. Let me glue this jaw back together because I just can't stand looking at it falling apart. Okay. This is great. Looks good. I like it from all the angles. At least the side that we've done. So what we're gonna do... Do you have to... Oh, that's a good question. Do you have to do anything to help maintain the integrity of the foam? Not really. In fact, if you go traveling with a fursuit head that's made out of foam, and you have to, like, crunch it down, it's actually completely, like, if you crunch it down for a few days, it'll still pop back into shape. The only thing is if you, if you had, like, floppy ears or something, that's something that can rip. And so, the only thing I would say is be careful with, like, the amount of, like, jumping you put on the jaw or the ears, some fragile parts, but other than that, really, it holds itself pretty well. Like, most of it is just in the way it's built. Like, instead of curving, like, the muzzle like this with a thick piece of foam, I'll usually do multiple layers of thin foam instead, because this wants to bounce back. It has, like, a push, it wants to push back into place. But if you have it carved into this shape, it's not going to try to bounce back out. It stays. So, it's really in the way it's built, it usually holds its own. Though that's a good question. Yeah, hopefully that answered it. But yeah, if you go traveling and you crunch this thing down for a few days, after like a day or two, it'll pop back into 100% shape. So, that's pretty cool, huh? Though, if you do have, like, if you put any kind of this foam in the washing machine, or you wash it, it will, like, shred up over time. Like, I have some, like, leg padding made out of this stuff, and if it didn't have a liner on top of it, it would shred it would shred out over time. And I'm sure it is shredding slowly over time, but since there's a liner over it, it's safe. Like, at least it's, like, not as easy to be damaged, but yeah. For the most part, this stuff is pretty durable. It holds its own. Okay, so we did it. Let's see here. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna mirror it off stream so that we'll fix problems like this and the cheeks. Everything will be the same. This is the main area I need to mirror because the rest of it is mostly the same. But I'm satisfied with this. I tried it on. I made sure that the inside was comfortable. There's enough open space in here. And yeah, it looks good. It's not too thick here or here. And the thickness of the lip here is perfect. It's just a 1/2 inch thick piece of foam that goes around. The shape looks good. And it looks strong enough. Like, there's enough glue on all the pieces to hold it into place. And especially when you get the fur on there, it'll hold it in place. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. Okay, so off stream, I will mirror it. I'll contact the commissioner to make sure that they like the way it looks so far, and I'll do any tweaks I have to do. And then next stream, I will have it completely mirrored so you guys can see, like, the final product. And we'll talk about how to do eyelids and and maybe talk about tongues if there's time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is for Renn. She's been in the chat, but she's been working on stuff, so I don't know if she's, I think she said she's listening, but I don't know if she can answer, but yeah. Alright, so let me try it on for funsies. Oh, hang on, I have to salt it really fast, because I don't want foam in my hair. This is the part where, when it's, like, basically done, or when it is done, whatever, I'll go in the other room and I'll make Fel look at it. I'll be like, hey, Fel, look at what I did. Look at this. Look at this. And then I'll make him try it on if it'll fit him. Alright. So you may have noticed I didn't glue the eyes in yet. Don't do that. You still want the eyes to not be glued in yet. We're not done. You're going to need to be able to get your hand in there to fix the liner and sew in the fur that goes around the eyebrows and stuff. That's like one of the last things you do. Alright. I've got my blue hair. Cute! I like it a lot. Wow. Yeah, this side definitely needs some work, that's for sure. Yep, this side's a bit better. I like it. Looks good. Yeah, so the only other thing is that I want to mention, my chin is resting on this nice chin strap right here. So make sure you have a nice support for somebody there. Not too tight because it'll make their head hurt, but not too loose so that it holds on nice and comfortable. You know, the foam bits are just decoration for your hair and clothes. Honestly, though, the problem is when it starts getting across the house and Fel's like, oh, I can see, I see Clover's been working on some foam again. Because it gets across the whole apartment. I have nothing to do with it, I swear. I try to keep it clean, but it just does not. I'll vacuum and it just... Yeah, you gotta see the floor. It's not as bad as it's been other days, that's for sure. Actually, the foam damage today is not that bad. It's only gonna take maybe one full vacuuming, because usually I'll have to empty my little shop vac and then keep vacuuming. Oh god, it's all stuck to me. Yeah, it's been much worse. Much, much worse. It always gets staticky to my bins here that I stand it on. Figby, is there any on you today? There was some on Figby the other day. Alright. Well, we made it. I'm proud. I'm pleased. And... yeah. And I'll see you guys next time where we'll talk about eyebrows, not eyebrows, eyelids and tongues. That sounds good. And I'll show you, I'll have the final foam done by then. Yeah, that sounds good. Cute. I'll show you guys the back. I don't know if you guys saw the back. There we go. Yeah, I can't wait to fix that one side. It looks so janky. Oh. But that side's so cute. Oh, I can't help but like hug it, you know? When you do something that's really cute and you're just, I mean, when you see a fursuit and you're just like, wow, that's really good. I'm really happy right now. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to brag, I'm just very excited. Alright, well, I'm proud. I'm really glad we did this. I'm literally out of glue sticks. All I have is what's left in my glue guns. I'm going to go buy more. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and doing many hours journey on this. I will tell you a total number of hours it took me off stream, and then we'll add up all the on stream hours. We'll see how many hours it took just to do this head. So I'm guessing somewhere around 25, but oh, thank you. Thank you for coming to the stream. I love hanging out with you guys. It makes me happy. It gives me something actually to do in my day and to look forward to in my day. Otherwise, I will just be working on stuff alone, and that's not fun. So thank you guys so much. Oh god, what is my hair doing? Okay. Well, I will see you guys next time. I'm probably going to record another Harry Potter episode today, so you can look forward to that today or tomorrow. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Oh. Bye-bye.